So where I'm at right now is I've pulled all the interior out so I can get all the blue cleaned and painted, and it's an epoxy prime. I've got the Ring Brothers mirrors on here. Decided to go with these instead of the factory Hellcat mirrors because these look so good. And I've got my handles on both sides. My door pockets made. I'm starting to mock up my quarter panels with my 11.5-inch rims. I got 12-inch wide tires under the back without tubs. Fits right up under there, but I'll give you a closer look at how it's coming. My Ring Brothers rear mirrors in there, they really look good. And look at the stance of it and how beefy it's looking. And then inside here, I've got all that primed. It's been pre-cleaned, sanded, adhesion promoter, and epoxy. My end of my doors, that's the end of the Hellcat door. The Hellcat handle, all that'll plug right back in. I'm laying my harness inside my door where all that plugs right back in, so the computer knows all that. The factory loom plugs right in. Had to cut on the inside a little bit to get it through, and I'll have to finish all that up. You can see all my interiors just blended in nicely. See how that jamb looks? I fabricated all this area, trying to limit it to where I could get back to all charger stuff. So the factory charger seal goes there. The factory charger landing for the factory seal goes there all the way around. When I set that door, I set that to a 10mm gap so it'll collapse that seal just perfectly. I was able to retain this landing for the charger. So I try to inject the Hellcat as minimum as possible and then use all charger seals and components. That looks really nice. You can see how that surround in the back for the back seats. That's all hand fabricated and houses the seats. And fixing to work on that plenum, get the dash in, and look how good this door works. It is absolutely perfect. And the stance from the back, limited space in the shop here, but it is. On this side, I'm fixing to do the wire loom on this side. Get my stuff ready. Got all this done. This one here, same way. Perfect. Yeah, I've got this, like I was saying, on the other side. Not only the gap, it's gapped perfectly for the door seal here. Then I mocked it all up with my spacers from the charger on the top and the bottom. So every bit of that strikes at the exact same time. So when that door shut, it's going to shut like a drum. Or sound like a drum. Oh yeah, and I want to show you on the over the framing of the dash. This is the Hellcat frame. Modified it, cut it down, lowered it to fit. Had to modify the brake stuff and all that. And then prep, prime, paint it, and put the factory harness back in. Every factory securing point is exactly the way it was on the Hellcat. Computer mounting, all that, and that piece will go right back in. Looks factory. And then my pedals, my brake support. Very nice piece right there. You can't tell it's been modified. Alright, I've got quite a bit done on SuperCharger here since my last update, and inside there, which I'll show you here in a second, I got all the back and all the surround and the rear deck where the speaker goes, and all that pretty much done. Got a couple of pieces to do at the carpet, and I'll show you that in a second. But back here in the back, this is what I'm working on now, is both quarters. And so I put this rod in here, and I'm going to use that as the lip edge of the quarter panel. But right now I've measured it off of the wheel, so I've got a good clearance of this wheel. Will travel all the way full range and still have about 5mm in between this and the tire. And I had set the quarter, and this is the edge of the wheel lip on the quarter itself. So from here I'll form and make a inner fender that'll blend into this fender, where you won't even be able to tell it. From the inside or out, it's going to look factory. And then I'll be able to set my quarter back on here and then start working it in. I'll go in here and do all the work. I've got to finish up some welding all in there. Make sure everything that's inside the quarter is sealed, welded, and secured. I'm gonna go ahead and mock up all the glass, get it all prepped, ready, greased, lubed, everything, and then I can unbolt the glass from that, leave all that in there, and just wrap that up, and that'll stay inside there. And get these quarters on, get this back on, then we'll have a whole car. So let me give you a closer look at what I've got right now. All right, inside here, which these doors are working perfect. Look how good these doors work. Perfect. So in here I've got my door panels on, armrests and stuff, and that's all fitting nicely. I've been working on this headliner. This is the Hellcat headliner, and I fabricated some panels in there, and I'll wrap those in some type of material, and got the third brake light installed and all that. It's really worked out good. All the surround around the back seat, that's looking good. I'll probably just wrap that in carpet. I mean, to be such an extreme build, I'm trying to keep everything as simple as basic. It has enough custom stuff just being the conversion, so everything is just trying to do it as simple as possible. And then this is what I got here. I've got a piece of heat shield on that so I don't burn the tire, but I have got right at 5mm perfect clearance on that, and that'll be the leading edge of my inner wheelhouse and my quarter. And then back here, this has all been set with the trunk and all the back together, and this locates my rear quarter so that I can install this rear quarter and know that that spot right there is where it's going to sit, and then make all this. And as I make all this, I won't finish completely tacking it all in until I have every bit of it back on here, in case I do need to move something around a little bit. But you can see those supports, and then you can see this one, I've already got that inner house made, and that turned out pretty good. Just a piece of 20 gauge or 18 gauge, and I just hammer formed it, and that's the leading edge, and I'll clean all that up, set my quarter on that, and that'll look good. And it houses that wheel perfectly. That wheel can do full travel all the way up till it touches up in here, which will never go that high, but that really worked out good. So I'm going to fabricate the other piece. I've already got my template over there, so here's my template for my metal for that piece right there, and then I've got it cut, and then I'm fixing to hammer form that and put it on the other side. Give you a look all the way around. See that blower through the hood looks good. So far everything is still working good.